Very cute outfit. Oh yeah, cute.
So who cares? Why not do your own thing and let them say what they want?
All right, let's sit in the middle. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Christmas Eve special, which isn't really a Christmas Eve special, it's just a video that's coming out on Christmas Eve because I am sticking to my at least once a week schedule, even though I'm out of town or doing stuff with Hunter's family, then going out of town to Breckenridge and Vale. We're gonna do a big week-long boarding trip plus like bougie, hang out, drink on the slopes. Oh, I love the aesthetic so much. I wanted to do Aspen, but Aspen is like minimum of $1,500 a night for each hotel, and I want to do Aspen bougie. So I'm gonna save up, and even though I thought Aspen would be this year, we're gonna do Aspen the year after. So you are seeing me sitting in front of presents that I've either bought for Hunter or wrapped for Hunter's family, and I also did something for Jay. This is Jay and Brittany that I drew. How cute. I've still got it, baby. I had to warm up for something that I was doing for Hunter for Christmas, which I've already given him, and he really liked it, and I'm really happy that he liked it because it took me like 3 days worth of time. He would come home, I'd have no makeup on, he'd be like, is she finally settling into letting herself go? And I'm like, no, I'm just doing a big ass project for you. And no, he did not say that. It's just like something that I would probably think if after like a year and a half of dating someone, I came home and they stopped wearing makeup, and I'm like, why are you not trying? You look gross. Anyway, before we get into this video, which is gonna be a video of my favorite quotes and why, something a little lighthearted and fun for this holiday season, I do have something I want you guys to do. So while we're away in Breckenridge and Vale, I'm gonna be doing a Q&A with Hunter. I feel like you guys don't know Hunter that well. He's been in a couple of videos, and he's been mostly in adventure videos where you only get to hear like little snippets of him talk, but I thought it would be fun, and he consented to a video where I take questions from you guys, and you can ask him anything, but not anything because he's a lawyer, so I'll give you the rules in a moment. But what I want you to do is post in the comments Hunter, comma, or Hunter, colon, or a question for Hunter so I can see it easily in the comment section. And then I'll take the ones from there and I'll ask him, and whatever he vetoes, I'm not gonna ask him. And whatever he's willing to answer, he'll answer, and I'll be very appreciative that he's dealing with my weird ass, e-girl, e-thought ass, and being a part of my career and with you guys, which warms my heart because I feel like it's two totally different worlds meshing together. With Jay, it wasn't really like two different worlds. It was kind of like he was already in the gamer content creator sphere with me. He tried streaming, he tried all this stuff. So with Hunter, it's a little bit different. It's like two different worlds, and I like blending them together. So I will appreciate your questions. So you can do sex questions, but like very, very vague and like PG sex questions, I guess. Like, is Tara good in bed? You could probably ask like that or something. You can't ask specifics about like his dick or whatever, because that was the specific thing he came home and told me not to do that one day, where he was like, you need to like chill out on that talking about my dick game. And I'm like, okay, but you were the one in the video talking about, you know, all this shit, so whatever. I get it. He's a lawyer. He's got a reputation. You know, he's a young lawyer too, so he hasn't like established his own firm or anything. But anyway, so stuff that wouldn't get a lawyer in trouble, you can kind of skirt the line a little bit. You can, you know, ask funny questions about himself or about me, or you can just kind of get to know him, ask very vague questions about sex, vague questions about other things that you think might possibly get a lawyer in trouble, but it has to be vague. So don't just go all in and be like, how does her fucking asshole taste, when you're like gaping it open or anything like that, because he won't be able to answer it, and then you'll just have a wasted question. I know, I wish we could do stuff like that. I think it would be fun. He actually thinks it would be fun, but alas, we cannot do it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do some of my absolute favorite quotes that I have saved on Instagram, which are mostly philosophy quotes, to be honest, but there are some relationship ones in there. And I'm gonna kind of explain why I like them and why they're important to me. So let's go ahead and get to my, what is it, saved. Okay, so we're going to saved and we're going to quotes. Quotes. Let's just start at the top and just scroll down. And we'll skip some, of course, but for the most part, I want to, you know, get some of these. So this is something I like a lot because I like kind of always felt this way. I felt like I was always just putting skill points into my own creative character. And that's kind of why I like doing it in video games, because I like doing it in myself in real life so much. So this guy says, technically we're all always LARPing, which is live action roleplay, because the self is only a construct, which is cool. Some guy says, I want a new character, and some other guy says, make one. I like this a lot because it really does show that like everything is a construct, even yourself. So make a good one. Don't just sit around and be like, okay, this is the hand I was dealt. Like, sure, you can have like skill points that are kind of in your loadout, but then you can always build skill points for the rest of your life. You have the ability. I'm sorry, I'm turning off my charging because your boy, aka your girl, don't worry, I'm not trans. People ask me that sometimes. It's weird. Maybe the way I act. Anyway, your girl has not charged her phone for 2 full days straight and only has charged it in the car because your girl needs prog metal while driving. Anyway, next. There are 3 things extremely hard: steal, a diamond, and to know oneself. I agree with this. I feel like most people don't know themselves at all. I think a lot of people, especially now that I've been hanging out with people like Hunter, I've realized people don't even think about who they are. They're just kind of like, yeah, I just go through life and make decisions. I don't know why I make these decisions. And it's kind of fun to like call Hunter out. So that's something you can ask him too. You can ask him about like philosophy or like politics or something. Not too heavy in the politics though, because I feel like, you know, he's just opposite of me basically, but we have common ground. So not a very interesting topic, but philosophy, I would love to see his thought process in a video because I always want to like do theory crafting and stuff with him and like thought experiments, but he seems to just kind of be like, I don't know, it is the way it is. And it's like, yikes. But you know what else is extremely hard? Relevant to what I was just talking about. So this is something I sent Hunter because I thought it was really sweet. It's a relationship one, and I love these dino comics because they're so fucking cute. In fact, there was one I sent Hunter today, which is like a lot of dino comics that I definitely feel like applies to me and him. So this one says, you know how they always say you don't know what you've got until it's gone? Yes. Well, I know what I've got, but I didn't know what I was missing until I found you, which is definitely how I feel about Hunter. Here, let me show you the ones that I sent him today. I'll love you forever. What if I change? Everybody changes. I'm happy I'll have the chance to get to know you all over again. So cute. What are you thankful for? Existence. I thought you hated life. Not mine, yours. So cute. And it's so annoying that I'm so into this like cute mushy stuff now. Oh my God, just wait until you see, well, you probably already have by now, but if you haven't, check my Instagram or his Instagram. Oh my God, I'll just put it in front of my face right now. Our fucking like Christmas card-esque Christmas couples pictures are the most cringy things in the world, but I love it so much. How was your day? Good. Really? No, it was terrible, but now you're here, so I forgot. And then this is why I never need alone time. I need to be alone. Okay, I'll go. No, you don't count. In a good way. Very cute. And then this turtle's definitely me. You're my favorite. Favorite what? Just generally, across all categories. So yeah, I'm done with that. We're not gonna do any more like cringy fucking shit, all right? We're just gonna go back to my saved. We're gonna skip the cringy ones and we're gonna do philosophy because I feel completely grossed out at myself now. But I think you guys are liking seeing me like this because you've never seen me like this before, you know? Time is a created thing. To say I don't have time is like saying I don't want to. Lao Tzu. This is something I always thought. A lot of people say that they don't have time for a certain thing, and like I don't mind when someone says, oh, I don't have time to like go out and drink, because they literally mean their priorities are different and they just don't feel like drinking is a priority. But when people go like, oh my God, I wish I had time to like build a career or start a family or do these things that are like actually gonna fulfill them, and then they're like, oh, I don't have time. Like fucking make time. It's all about prioritizing your time, and I think it's annoying when people like don't realize that. Be so solid that they lose credibility trying to throw dirt on your name. This isn't philosophy really, but I've always thought that it was cool that like I just don't lie. And when I do lie, I'm willing to own up to it. Like the one time on this channel that I did make a big lie, which was saying that I had never done nudes before, but I did nudes when I was like 18 and I was telling people that it wasn't me. Like I eventually fessed up to that, and that was kind of hard, but I like being so solid and so myself and so real. You know exactly what you're getting by going with me, and like when people try to say shit about me, it's like, I've been honest from the beginning. And I've actually had this come up in my personal life recently because dealing with other people is annoying and hard. So when I thought I had a friend and then that friend started talking behind my back, saying things that are definitely not true, it's just so demonstrably untrue, at least to the people that I give a shit about the opinion of, like Hunter, that they just lose all credibility. A child educated only at school is an uneducated child. I've always thought that, especially like public school and stuff, and the shit that you learn before you go to vocational school or like college, even college and university, it's just like bullshit. It's just like requirements you have to do, which you're not gonna use later in life at all, and it's just kind of a waste of time. So I always thought that if you didn't have life experience, if you didn't go out and like see the world, if you didn't do things and learn with an open mind and form your own opinions, and you're just being told in class and having to memorize it, you're not learning at all. I like this one because it's kind of tongue-in-cheek and it's by Thomas Jefferson. I'm a great believer in luck. The harder I work, the more of it I seem to have. I like that because it's like talking shit about luck. I think you guys get that one. It's pretty good. And then of course I follow Stoic Daily, Stoic Quotes, and because I just love Stoicism and Stoic philosophy. I know it has flaws. Whew, okay, I had to recharge my battery. So the thing about this camera is if I let the battery actually die, it doesn't save what was recording when it died, which is terrifying. So what I was saying was, I know a lot of people try to tear down Stoic philosophy as like not the perfect philosophy, but I don't think there is a perfect philosophy. I think the point of philosophy, at least as someone who's not a philosophizer and is in modern day, is to just kind of introspect about your own life. So for me, Stoic philosophy is the ultimate philosophy because it's what I need the most personally. Like, I'm not the greatest at being stoic naturally. I'm a very emotional person, and I'd prefer to be an emotionless person, or at least to be able to control and manipulate my emotions for the good of myself. So that's why I like it. It is indeed foolish to be unhappy now because you may be unhappy at some future time. This is something I struggle with a lot. Well, not as much as some people I know, looking at you, Jay, but I do struggle with worrying, and this is a quote against worrying. It's like, the one quote that I probably have on here as well, that's like, worrying is like paying a debt you don't yet owe. And I think that's something to keep in mind because I know a lot of people like dread having to do something that's coming up, or even less useful is worrying about something that you literally can't control that might just happen to you in the future. Like worrying about dying or worrying about someone breaking up with you. I think worry has its place when you need to like formulate some kind of plan to make a better life for yourself or to avoid these things happening. But just sitting around and worrying is literally useless. So that's why I like that quote. Forgive people in your life, even those who are not sorry for their actions. Holding on to anger only hurts you, not them. I think the whole like forgiving people mantra that a lot of like religions have is actually really smart, because if you are holding a grudge, if you are thinking about a person nonstop angrily, then it's just like hurting you. You should just like let it go so you can move on and not think about them anymore. Like, fuck if they're sorry. Obviously cut people out of your life if they're not sorry and they're treating you like shit, but you gotta learn to like stop hating people, because hate only like brings you down. It doesn't actually bring the other person down. In fact, it kind of makes them feel good because you're spending so much time thinking about them. It's kind of like that quote that like e-girls and like basic white bitches will post, which is like, oh my god, I see a lot of you guys on my feed and you're not liking my stuff, but you're out here hating or some shit. I don't fucking know. Not a quote I would save here, but you get the idea. The greatest prison people live in is the fear of what other people think. Yes, 100%. You guys already know I think this. This is a relationship thing, but it's something that I actually find useful because I can occasionally try to control situations. I don't generally try to control my partner in a I'm very like weird because I can be very controlling in small ways, but like I give the most freedom to any guy of any girlfriend ever. So it's like, do whatever you want, but like don't do this one weird thing that might hurt my feelings, you know, and then I'll like really care and really fixate on that thing. So it says never control him, let him do what he wants to do so you can see what he'd rather do. His actions will show how much he respects you. And I think this is important, especially when I was trying to understand my relationship with Hunter and understand Hunter as a person, because I'm not the kind of person that needs literally 100 friends and literally 100 friend night out days or whatever. So this was really helpful to put into perspective, like, yeah, if he would rather always hang out with someone else rather than me, then I can see what he'd rather do and make my decisions according to that. And I feel like that's in line with Stoic philosophy as well. It's like, just let people be them. It doesn't concern you. You can't control it. And then, you know, you make your smart decisions based on reality, not based on like fears and stuff. Forget yesterday. It has already forgotten you. Don't sweat tomorrow you haven't even met. Instead, open your eyes and your heart to a truly precious gift today. Live in the moment, motherfuckers. It's so much better. Worry is useless, and thinking about the past, especially for longer than it takes you to like cope or whatever, is useless as well. Okay, I like this one. It's funny because it's like, philosophy is like being in a dark room and looking for a black cat. So you can't see it, but you're trying. Metaphysics is like being in a dark room and looking for a black cat that isn't there. Theology is like being in a dark room and looking for a black cat that isn't there and shouting, I found it. And science is like being in a dark room and looking for a black cat using a fucking flashlight. I like that. I don't know how strictly I agree with it, but I find it funny. So there's like some little bits of truth in there that I like. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. That's so fucking hard for most people these days. I swear to God, nobody has this skill. I like making videos like theoretically is incest bad, which is one of my biggest ever videos, without being into incest or without saying like, yeah, incest is good. I want to be able to entertain all these ideas, so I know that the idea that I actually stick with is the one that I most thoroughly vetted as correct. Like, I don't see why so many people just like immediately viscerally go like, no. I won't even entertain that idea. It's crazy. Like, get over your fucking selves. Come on. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Simple. Love yields to business. If you seek a way out of love, be busy. You'll be safe then. This is kind of interesting because it's kind of like when you're going through a breakup or you're trying not to have a crush or like something with your emotions is going on. I've always found it helpful to be extremely busy. And it can't be the kind of busy where I'm like editing a video and it's like mindless. It has to be something where like it's taking up all of my thoughts. So like playing bass or something, I can't even talk or sing while playing bass. It's just like takes all of my effort, all of me to try to play bass. So that's something I kind of do when I'm feeling bad or whatever. Also, you can go out and party because all of your senses are being stimulated, but I would rather find a way to work. So more often than not, I would rather be like filming a video or taking a bunch of pictures, just not the busy work of editing. I've found that that's helpful. Do you have a problem? No? Then don't worry. Do you have a problem? Yes. Can you do something about it? No. Then don't worry. Yes. Then don't worry. I love this one because that's literally all you need to do. Just, can you do anything about it? You just need to formulate a plan. If there's no formulation of plans or if you've already done that, there's absolutely no reason to worry. And this thought being in the back of my mind has actually helped me a lot in many situations. So I am glad that I think this way now. I'm constantly torn between if it's meant to be, it will be, and if you want it, go and get it. Okay, so I am not. I saved this because I wanted to talk in a video about this a little bit. So this might be our last quote or maybe a couple more, but I kind of want to go into detail on this. I feel like there are so many quotes that say shit like this to the two extremes. It's like, if you want something, go out and get it. You can do anything you set your mind to, which isn't really true. Like, you have barriers to entry, you have glass ceilings, you have like situations where you will not be able to do it, no matter how many paths you go down or how many fates you have or how many like fucking multiverses you go through. Well, if there's many multiverses, there is a chance that you'll get to it in one of the multiverses. But anyway, the point is not to think that you can do anything. The point is that you have no idea if you can do it. And if you don't try, you'll never know. And being like, if it's meant to be, it will be, absolutely not. If you just sit there and go like, oh, my relationship is meant to be, so I'm not gonna work on us, I'm just gonna let shit fall into my lap. Like, I really don't like that it's meant to be, happens for a reason thing. My mom really likes that shit. And I have friends who really like that shit, but I do not agree with that shit at all. Sometimes through cognitive bias, it can seem like something happened for a reason, or you can feel like there's some divine intervention behind it, but really the more you work or the more you try to fix your life, the better your outcomes are gonna be no matter what. You can't just lay back and be like, I guess we aren't meant to be because he's not coming back after I cheated and put no effort into the relationship. Maybe you can think about it in some kind of like deterministic way where like we don't have free will, so eventually the same thing will happen at the end of our lives, but like that's no way to be living, and that's why people are so afraid of determinism, because they're like, holy shit, that'll make me lazy. But I'm the specific kind of person who doesn't see the usefulness in seeing things as deterministic, so I still trudge forward and push to get the things that I want. On the other hand, there's a little bit of a downfall with that. I will often be preoccupied with the millions of possibilities and try to find and formulate and control, because I'm a little bit of a control freak in ways, the best outcome for me in many situations, and I just end up wasting time. So it's really hard for me to figure out like, how much planning is a smart amount of planning and how much planning is so much that you're literally basically worrying at this point because there's not much else you can do and you just gotta like choose. Indecision and drawing things out and overthinking can sometimes be bad too, and that's something that I've learned a lot more this year. Life is very interesting. Boredom is a failure of imagination. I feel like I'm never bored because I always have something I can do with my brain, with stuff around the house. I can always just do stuff. So I've always thought it was weird that people lay around being bored or lay around watching TV. I feel like that's like a really, really bad habit to have. Like there's a difference between like what I will do, which is like on the weekends occasionally, or at night I'll watch a few episodes of something just to like kind of let my mind chill and like to like decompress and stuff. But people who literally lay around, they're like, I'm bored, I'm gonna watch a whole season of something every single day and then I'll just go to work and work myself to death, and that's the only two things you do. You're not living. You're not living at all. Failure of an imagination. Be happy, be yourself. If others don't like it, then let them be. Happiness is a choice. Life isn't about pleasing everybody. Agreed. The more plain, the more beautiful. The thing about truth. I love truth quotes because yes, just give me the plain, honest truth. That's all I ever want from anyone. And I see that as the ultimate form of respect, to know that I can handle the truth, that I'm mature enough to do so, and that I deserve it. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. I don't know. I like it. A little interchange in words. Turn your feelings off sometimes. Shit be better when you don't GAF give a fuck. True. Stoicism. The man is a success who has lived well, laughed often, and loved much. Simple and true. We need in love to practice only this, letting each other go, for holding on comes easily. We do not need to learn it. I agree with this. I feel like if you love someone, let them go is not like literal, like literally break up with them and see what happens or like play with their heads. It's like literally let them have freedom. And that's why I try to do that to the best of my ability. But I also want to be clear with like things that like, hey, this will hurt me or this is what I want. The thing I hate the most, and I think this is like where my control freakism in relationships comes in, is like I fear things happening to me just because I was misunderstood or because I wasn't clear enough about it or I didn't remind them or something like, hey, this would hurt me if you did, or hey, I prefer this, or hey, let's not do this. For some reason that just feels like the end of a relationship if they do something and then it's like, well, did they understand enough? And like it's just stupid. I don't know. I need to let some of that go. And learning to let go is hard for me in a relationship. Perhaps our eyes need to be washed by our tears once in a while so that we can see life with a clearer view again. I think crying has a time and a place. Obviously, if you're just gonna break down at the smallest thing or you have no propensity for strength in a stressful situation, then that's like really cringy, awful beta male and female behavior. But I think everyone needs to cry once in a while because it's literally like a stress reliever. Like we release the stress hormone out of our bodies, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if that's the scientific terminology, but like after crying, you can literally see things clearer. You relieve a lot of stress, and I think it's just good for you to just get it out sometimes. Just like don't hold things in and let it out. All right, let's do 2 more. Sometimes the best moments in life are the ones you can't tell anyone about. I wanted to recreate this picture with Jay. Now I think Jay's gonna recreate it with Brittany. But yes. Before, I would tell everyone about it. Now, you don't know how fucking hot my sex life has been in the last 2 years. Like, you don't know some of the shit we've done, some of the crazy shit we've done. And I can't tell you guys about it anymore. I can only be like kind of vague. It sucks. I don't know. But yes, now I agree with this. And for our last one, let's go with another Stoic quote from Discourses 11:17 or whatever the fuck, I don't know. Usually it has a philosopher, but apparently this is like a book or something. For it is impossible for anyone to begin to learn that which he thinks he already knows. And I think this speaks a lot to today's discourse online where people on Twitter will just be so set in their ways, or people on YouTube will be so set in their ways that they don't even consider anything else. It's the same thing as I was talking about before with the being able to entertain an idea without accepting it. People can't even get that far, much less change their fucking opinions or like learn something new from someone else. It's always just got to be like this mentality of I need to win this. I need to win this argument. And I think that can be harmful to genuine, honest discourse and understanding each other. It's bad for living with other human beings, and it's also bad for yourself because you're not learning, because you're shutting your brain off to an entire way of thinking. And I think it's important to consume info from different sides so you don't get stuck in an echo chamber, or so you don't begin to see all of this confirmation bias about your side and never grow and never learn. I think 2 sides can be right at the same time. There's nuance, all these things, and that's why I try always to listen to both sides, follow both different types of things, and learn from everyone, even if I think they're immensely, immensely stupid. All right, guys, I hope you liked this. If you want me to do another one of these, I have many, many more quotes. We can even go through some of the Stoic philosopher guides, if that's the kind of thing that you want to see, because I find them very helpful. It's like how to not get mad, how to win arguments, how to not procrastinate. That's a big one because I'll do that sometimes, and I really, really feel fulfilled at the end of the day if I don't procrastinate a lot. I know there's like a little bit of like downtime that I need because I'll get stressed if I do way too much, but for me, procrastinating is like really bad, and I'll end up doing like easy tasks in the beginning of the day all day, and this is something Hunter taught me was bad, and then at the end of the day for the big task, I'll be like too tired and stuff. So we can go over that if you want. Don't forget to post your questions for Hunter down in the comment section. I'll also be taking some on Instagram in the coming days. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's @Babcock. And I will see you guys for my New Year's video where I'm gonna once again trash talk New Year's resolutions and recap verbally what I've done in the last year, which I think will be interesting this year because this year and a little bit of last year is very different from all of my other years prior. I love you guys so much. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and I'll see you on I think like New Year's Eve or something, or the day before New Year's Eve. Next Friday. Bye guys. My outfit is so cute. is still so cute. Ah.